People look at me and assume Iryn Moko, Iryn is difficult, Iryn is arrogant. People that you trust, who are your everything, your heroes, they're the same people who destroy you. I never wanted to speak about the Japan issue because it was very painful. I would have been killed. I was so tormented by my own mother, by her children, and that's how I stopped talking to my mother. It's been 11 years. My name is Iryn Namubiru, and this is my Tusker Malt ConverSessions. Yeah, many people think maybe I no longer want to sing, I don't want to sing, I have money, a lot of money, so I don't sing. I don't think everybody who sings gets money out of music. There are other ways, there are other things we do and we get money. I would love to get a lot of money out of music. But of course, people haven't seen me now for a long time. I don't know, maybe for 5 years, but for me, I think I was dead musically, meaning I had no interest, I had no inspiration, I had no motivation for many years. I haven't had motivation for many years, and that's because of certain, like, personal issues, things I don't know how to explain to everybody, to people, to the public, and I definitely will talk about them, but I don't know how or when. All I know is that before I die, you will hear them. Because I've written a book, I have a manuscript, some I've recorded, but I made somebody listen to my manuscript, or read my manuscript, and they asked me, the people you're talking about, not so many, but there was, you know, you can, as you grow up, you have people you count on, people you trust, people you think, who are your everything, your heroes. And then they're the same people who destroy you, who really kill you. People say words don't kill. Words kill. Especially in a society like ours, where you cannot talk about certain things, where it's abominable to mention certain things, whether they are right or wrong. So there are these things that kept eating me and eating me, to the point that I had no morale at all, that I could not sing. I go on stage, I sing, I get off stage, I don't want to look at anybody, I don't want to say hi, I don't want anybody to touch me. All I'm thinking about is reaching home and be sad and think about these things, because I think about them in the morning, I think about them in the evening. I can eat and play, and the moment there's nobody, I go back into solitude and thinking about these things. Especially, I don't know if it's betrayal, but for me, I actually do not know. I could never have thought that I would stop speaking to some people, because family means so much to me. But then I found myself keeping quiet. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 11.
Nkwagala Nyoo, Samasokale, Umaze Munyoba be.
Thank you very much. Thank you. People think Iryn Mokowu, Iryn is difficult, Iryn is arrogant, Iryn is this and that, but I'm not really Mokowu, or I'm not arrogant. I may come off as arrogant because most times people speak to me, people look at me and assume I'm going to be interested in what they're interested in. I'm going to be interested in their conversations. And people who come to me most of the time, like people who interview us, are kids in their 20s and 25, 30, or they might be 30. I don't know if 30 is so young, but they have, their mindset is around 21, 25, and the things they talk about are not things that I necessarily want to talk about. But I talk with my friends, with my age mates. We talk about certain things. We laugh, we smile, we shout, we dance. But what people should know is that I'm not a kid. It's very, very, like, everybody wants to say, hey, Olimokulu, you're old, when it's convenient for them. When they start speaking to me, they speak to me as a kid. I'm not a kid at all. I'm a grown woman. There are things I will talk about and things I won't talk about. Or there are things I'll talk to you about as an adult. So for those people who think, or maybe I'm not really reserved, but it takes me a while before I speak with other people, and when I start speaking, I really speak. I'm funny, I laugh, I'm hilarious, I'm humorous, I'm everything you would want me to be as company, and I think I'm good. But yeah, people should know that Iryn Mama Wabana, Iryn Senga Wabana, and I'm serious, unless it's, I don't know, but if it's certain conversations, I want to remind them, hey, I'm not your age, so let's keep it there.
Nkwagala Nyoo, kana kaimba kwa mukwano kako kaveno kumeme Nkwagala okusinga ensikwendi hani kimanye kirinuma oliddeyo mutijja n'abalala n'oleka nze kwa wali omutima mulikamwa kange n'enkuwa n'emikwano n'enjikyawa buli eyakwogerako ebikyamu ne mutanze wakiri omulala n'ataba kwegwe nasima nti nakusima abefitine nyingira talaba kuba kuweki munage kana kayima k'omwana kako kabero kumeme yange wakala kusinga ensikweni ani kimanye nze sikwagala lwakuba sente siri kwebyo siringabo z'omutima gye kunoonya laavu ezo sente bwe tuba tufunye kirungi ne twesanyusa ffenna bwe ziba zibuze katuguma nga tubawo abefitine nyingi gye batalabaamu kuba kuweki munage kana kayima k'omukwano kako kabero kumeme yange nkwagala nfiirawo kimanye unyata omutima gwohera tegulikyuka njagala nze bwe kwagala okukira balala mumya nsuuta dala njagala matira nkimanye kati nkuteekawa kuweki baby kuweki kana kayima k'omukwano kako kabeno kumeme yange kimanye kuteekawa kuweki munage kana kayima k'omukwano kako kimanye nze mpulira nkwagala nfiirawo kimanye nkwagala nnyo nnyo kimanye nze mpulira nfiirawo nkwagala kimanye Thank you. Thank you so much. That was Kuweki for you.
I never wanted to speak about the Japan issue because it was very painful, very, very painful. There are things I learned after I came back to Uganda. I was really broken. The things I knew, and then afterwards I knew more, and then people said things about me. People I called, family, people who set me up, because I realized everybody was waiting for me to arrive in Japan. I heard that they told them, if Iryn gets here, once Iryn gets here, you'll get money, you'll get this. But then I find out that, whoever gave me the things knew very well what I was carrying. And this is somebody who was next to me, like the closest person to me. So this guy was paid $500. And then he later said, it was a tip. How can somebody give you a tip of $500 for me to go perform in Japan? I'm performing for not even 100 people, because there are around 100 people in Japan. You don't expect all of them to come to Japan. My ticket costs more than $1,500. The show costs about 30 yen per person, and then you get a tip of $500. $500. And then they had the courage, the audacity to say later, Iryn Namubiru, simanya kebere sente abera alingirize sente. Why wouldn't I? If it's my money, if I'm working for my money, why wouldn't I want to know what's happening with my money? Why wouldn't I want accountability for my money? And then I find out a producer here told me, Iryn, that's after about maybe 2 weeks when I was here, he told me, so and so set you up. Fire him. Well, I'll say it was Thaddeus, your manager. He's the one who did it. He knew very well. Fire him. So I went to him immediately. We were going to pray at All Saints Church, I remember. I told him, this is what I've been told. You knew. You know very well. And yes, he knew. Then I go with him to my mother. We were all going to pray. My mother was there. And I told her, you know what? This is what happened. They've told me this. And I called him in front of her. We said, retrospectively, I realized she didn't react. She was indifferent. My mother was indifferent, telling her that this is the person who set me up. This is what they've told me. I don't know what I would have done standing in front of somebody who set up my child, who could have been killed. I was lucky I was in Japan. If I was in Indonesia, Thailand, or China, whether I knew about it or not, I would have been dead. I would have been killed. But looking back, she didn't react. Now that's a conversation I don't want to go into, but just know that this is killing me, eating me up. Then I found out many other things. A brother who was saying, I was like, if I had to do those things, I would have learned them from your father. Nobody tells you. I haven't said it, but the whole family knows. Because their father was also arrested in the UK carrying drugs. But I keep these things to myself, and I feel like, no, I should not die with these things. Maybe I should say them. You cannot keep singing that song to me. You did this. Wherever we go, you want to scream so loud. Of course, he definitely doesn't know that his father and a brother were arrested in the UK for carrying drugs and banned. And then they went back. They were asking them, what's this? Greens. You know, you're carrying marijuana, and they ask you, what's this? And he says, these are greens. So there are things I deal with every day. And you find me speaking to myself while I'll be doing something, but my mind is there. Because I'm thinking about this night and day. I gave it a break. I stopped thinking about that. I was like, okay, well, the immediate family knows what I've done. Somebody has done. Only that for me, I didn't know about it at all. And I would never have left Japan if I was in any way guilty. I would never have left Japan.
Nsonyiwa amazima boba kujagala Nsonyiwa kiriza kwetondere labane benye tosiba busungu jukira ntina uzobya nonetonera era nange nenkusonyiwa manya tinage ndi muntu wennemererwa panirira obuuza mubinje bigezo kwetuyise chimpisa bubi mukwano unyigoto Nsonyiwa enzobizirawo Nsonyiwa mukwano netoze nzirira mutali omutima gw'abambi tokunkweka kuba gwe wange Nsonyiwa mukwano laba yondebeye akasekoko akalungi mazima sichakalabako ngandabye obusungu laba kyebukula bwe bunu n'emikwano mubanaffe mu kaseera katono laba wetutuuse utunudde erinage tunudde kati laba eriwa saasira laba bwenyuwa mulira bubi Thank you so much.
So when I tell you that I was dead, it's been like 10 years, 11, and I've been dead. Yes, because this is abominable. You can never talk about a parent, but there are things you cannot say omzadde tasobya oba omuzadde tayogerwako nsobya as omuzadde, because nino omwana wange wa myaka 2 if I do something wrong omwana wange alina okubwangamba, nina okutuula ne muwuliriza. Sisobola kuva buvyeri ne mulangira kino ne muvuma ne nkola ki without ever listening to them. So during that time I was so tormented when I came back by my own mother, by her children, and also my father died, and then that's only 3 weeks after Japan. But what killed me the most about the Japan saga is that I wanted to ask my mother for once, for the very first time, because I've never asked her to talk about, I've never asked her for us to discuss anything. I came back late in the night, she was sleeping, I left early in the morning, she was maybe in her room, then I went again. Then the following day, I found her in the house, so I told her, I had sent you a message, I had wished we could talk about something. I had never seen her like this. She was kneeling down. I don't know if she was praying, but I don't know. She was kneeling on her bed. I don't know what she was doing. Maybe she was praying. She came out and banged the door and told me, before I even said what I wanted to talk about. I wasn't asking her anything concerning her. I was only going to tell her about the brother who said, yati sebungi nnyo bandi musibiddeyo singa baakasibye ne kasigalayo nati kyayise. So that's what I wanted to talk to her about. I was like, why are you telling me that? Do you even know what I'm going to talk about? And she was like, tombulira. She started banging doors. But because I had had some things before that I still could not believe until they put her on loudspeakers and started recording, I pulled out my phone because I knew I could not explain these things to anybody. I started recording and following her for the first time. I was even scared because my mom, akuba, mukambwe muwabo omulaba nga ayogera toyinza oba bw'ayogera nga tomulaba face olowooza muwala muto okujjako ng'omulabika because she has grey hair and what you naye bw'aba ayogera n'amaanyi. When you don't see the head, you wouldn't think she's the age she is. She kept on saying things. She would go out and come back. We are in my house. After 5 minutes, she comes back and stands in my door, this and that and that. Ugly things that I fear repeating. But one day, I already put in my will that they have to play all these things because I don't want people to come out and talk about me when I'm dead and say all horrible things. I have lots of recordings, lots. If I never talk about them, at least they'll play them for people to know. So that's the only time I ever attempted to talk with my mom to discuss anything that had gone wrong, because I have never confronted anybody. Just like I don't clear things in the papers. Even my siblings, when they say anything you've ever had, so that was the only time I thought maybe, because that went so far, I thought we'd talk about it. It came out the way it came out, and that's how I stopped talking to my mother. It's been 11 years. It's coming to 11 years. I can't look at her. I can't hear her voice. Even talking right now, I'm shaking. It makes me sick, because then I went on hearing things. I don't know anybody who has disparaged me as much as my mother in this world. I don't know if I've ever had any accusations that have no like background at all, that hold no truth at all, like I've had from her. And I'm like, but can my mother ever say that, no, Iryn didn't do this? Would she ever fight for me? Would she ever say that, no, this didn't happen? I don't know if there's anybody, if I've ever had any denigrating like comments about me like I've had from my own mother. So that's why when people insult me and do things, I'm like, you can say whatever, you're not the most important people in my life. But if the person, the most important, who was my everything, could say such things, then I give up on everybody else. And there's a lot to say, but as I'm telling you now, I've written a book, I have a manuscript. I don't know. I went to a publisher, they read and asked me, how old is this person? How old is your mother? How old is so and so? Can you wait a few years maybe? Well, this is very ugly to say. He said, can you wait for her to die? Because there are things I've had myself, there are things I've seen, but I'm not even talking about hearsay, but only things that I've had, that I've recorded. There are so many. So whatever I was talking about, I was bringing proof, I was bringing recordings. So it was horrible. But there was no way I was going to heal without maybe writing those things down. Maybe if I die, that book will be out and even the audios will be listened to, because I'm going to make it an audible book. So everything I'm talking about will be there. Things said, I have them, because things are very hard to believe when you don't have evidence.
Thank you very much.
Professional help, like talking to therapists, psychologists. And it's not about everybody because there are people who are not, they're there, but maybe I would say they were not important. But one person that's like, this, you are my everything. You're like, you're supposed to protect me. You're somebody I could have spoken to, but then you hear accusations. You hear, like, you see people insult me. People can say things on internet, can insult me, can say things on Facebook. I don't even delete. I'm not ready to be exchanging with this person because I know exactly what they're going to be telling me, what they'll be talking about, things they've told me, and then they go tell other people, tell the family, tell everybody around me. So I know who exactly they are. So sometimes I just leave. But if I leave those accounts and never delete and never block them, I'm not a fool. These accounts have been investigated. We found IP addresses. They led to people, and I left them there. I have reported. I have cases at police stations out of Uganda. They know exactly who they are. So I leave them not because I'm a coward or anything, but I leave them to come back and check on them, and one day they will stand in front of a judge. But the other things I don't want to talk about, like now, are, people that you trust who betray you and you cannot speak about them. Because there are things, anyway, there are things you wonder, like, how can you start defending yourself from a parent? When you know the truth is there's evidence, and then you start saying, no, this is not right, this is wrong because of this and this and this, and you show proof. If it's our cultural norms, I think certain things have to be updated and or maybe changed. There are things we need to talk about. People have to talk. I think I'll be the first to talk. I'll be the first to talk because if I don't ever talk or whatever, if whatever I want to say never comes out, I'll die. I'll still die. I'll die. Normally I'll die, but I don't want to die that way.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so many things happened between 2013 and 2018. Well, maybe there are things you don't know of, but things really happened. So many things. I think I could have died. But also, God is good, because I'm a person who didn't really believe in God. If you brought up those conversations, I know we would end up in arguments and arguments, because I have so much to argue about God. That even in Japan, I read every book they brought, but I didn't open the Bible. They brought me a Bible, I didn't open it, but I read everything quickly. I even brought books to learn Japanese, but I didn't open the Bible. But then in 2018, the boat cruise happened. Because I was always saying, people, I don't believe in witchcraft at all. I don't believe that somebody will bewitch me or that they bewitch me. If you bring your witchcraft ahead, stuffed with money and everything, I'll pull out the money, wash it, and throw away your rotten head, God head. So I don't believe in those things at all. But people surrounding me, families, of course, they live and breathe for witchcraft. I don't. So with Japan, I think that was the first miracle, I should say. Because, yeah, people were like, you would have been killed. Then for the boat cruise, everything that happened, I started at midday refusing to go, and there were signs everywhere for me not to go. Signs for me that it was dangerous or that something bad would happen. And then it happened. And then we capsized. I've never dived in my life. I fear, because I almost drowned twice in Namasagali swimming pool. Twice. And I had a phobia for water, in that, like, you can't make me dive. I can't dive. If you throw me unaware in water, I think I can die. But because I was looking at people, how my kids, how they get up when they dive, that's what I did. But I still hear the bubbles when I think I landed. I went in head first, but I still hear the bubbles. And then I got up. I was like, oh my God, how did I even get up? I had this phone. It was a new phone. I didn't know it was waterproof. I had my bag, which was very heavy. They had given me alcohol that day. I refused to drink. I drink wine. I didn't drink. But I packed a bottle in my bag. But I would say, away from that, I would say that, yeah, I think that was a miracle, because surviving that, I know how to swim a bit, but I know only 2 strokes. If I had tried to swim using my 2 strokes, I would have been tired in 3 minutes, in maybe 2, because the waves also were so strong. And I was thinking, I could see where I was going. I was like, yeah, I had a voice. You will reach there. Don't panic, don't scream, you won't die. This is what I kept hearing. And I was calm. I didn't shout. I saw a mattress floating, and I wanted to turn and go to that mattress. Then something clicked. I was like, yeah, it's sponge. It's absorbed water. I mean, there's no way I'm going to float on that thing. But before that, I had seen a boat going to maybe rescue the other people. All these people, when we had just capsized, I saw lights. In fact, maybe their phones. Within a few minutes, I looked back, there was no light at all, and people were screaming. I think these people, yeah, they had capsized, in fact, because they all went on this boat, they overfilled it, and it capsized. So there was no noise, there was no light, there was no noise. I was the only one who had a light, and that's how they saw me and got me. And this is how the boy saw me, because I saw him, it was dark, I saw the boat coming, and then I screamed. I started screaming so loudly, help, help. Yet he was already coming to me, so they had to shut me up. Baby, shut up, stop screaming. I think I was disturbing them. I stopped, they threw me, they pulled me and put me in the boat, but there was a woman. First, they asked me for my bag, which I could not pull out of the water. It was full of water and it was very heavy. So, but I was thinking, no, I'm not throwing my bag. There was everything, my identity card, my car key, everything, and a bottle of wine. But of course, it's not because of the wine that I wanted to serve the bag. I was thinking, no, my things, unless I can't really anymore, I'm not dropping it now. But the guy helped me pull it out of the water. I didn't see floating bodies, but I saw them there on the ground. There's a girl, I never thought I would do bush. I never thought I would do, the mouth to mouth when you're resuscitating somebody, you blow in their mouth and pump here, because somebody was doing it and doing it wrongly, but this woman was already dead. So the person I was resuscitating was already dead, in fact. I was not screaming then, and after doing that, there's Hope who was looking for me as well, because it's the one who invited me, Hope Makasa, my friend. He invited me, he's the one who had invited me for this boat cruise. He was looking for me, he was asking if I had survived where I was. The moment I saw him, I started screaming so much, because of course there was so much going into my head. Then I was screaming, and he was like, no, I was like, does he even realize what he's asking me? Yeah, I stopped screaming, because I was like, yeah, why am I screaming? And reaching the shore, reaching my car, then I've skipped so many things there. My car key was working. There were some cards that were spoiled, but everything else was intact, even my car key. So I was like, if this is not God, then I don't know.
Tebiba Binji, everybody that's here today. And we wish you a very good evening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for enjoying.